Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I said I'd do updates as and when there was something to report on this pollination job. Now, that is in effect a normal bloom. That one hasn't been touched. Coming round here, this is also a normal bloom. This is the one that I took the anther cap out with the pollen. Now, the one thing you can see in common is underneath the anther cap on all of these is the place where the pollen needs to go to be a successful pollination. Now, I'm hoping I can hold this and the plant still so that I can be in focus. Yeah? So what you're looking at there is the anther cap sitting above the place where the pollen goes, which on all three of those blooms is open. If we come round to the one that I'm attempting to pollinate, you can see that area has completely closed up, which implies it's successful. You see, the opening is just gone. It's closed over and the pollen is trapped inside. So we may be successful. That only means that the pollen's taken. It doesn't mean it's going to produce a successful pod. And even if it produces a pod, the seed might not be successful. There's lots of places this can go wrong, but that is looking hopeful. The bloom hasn't started to collapse yet, but then this is a 24-hour update. This is only 24 hours after the pollen was placed inside, and in 24 hours it's closed over. So that's as far as it's got. And I'm sure there's going to be quite a few people interested in following this through. So it'll probably be quite regular updates until such a time as when quite long periods are required to see any change, if you see what I mean. I mean, if I do get a pod and the flower eventually drops, the pod's going to look the same for some considerable time. Somebody's already put in a comment, and now we wait a year for a pod. I've got a chart by genus. Now, it can only be an average because some genera have rather a lot of orchids in, and they're not all going to be the same. But on average, Miltoniopsis species have got ripe seeds in the pod after 130 days. That can only be an average. With some it may take longer, some it may take less. So yeah, we're looking at a fair old time. That's if we get a pod in the first place. But so far, I would say so good. Because the bloom has changed shape, it's responded to the pollen. And I assume that's what it's supposed to do. So, there we go. So far so good, I think.